Hi. Hi everyone. Namaste. Assalamu alaikum. Jabuchiu. Shinjao. Jambo sana. I hope you and your children, your family, I hope everybody is okay. Me and my family, we all are good. So, this week is week 11 for our citizenship class on YouTube. And as we always do, let's talk about week 10 to remember some things before we go to week 11. So, what did we talk about in week 10? We talked about the US government that has three branches. One is legislative, executive, and judicial branch, the three branches of the US government. And the Constitution sets them up like this. And we also discussed the first branch, which is legislative, or we also call it Congress. So Congress has two parts, the Senate and the House of Representatives. Who works in this building or Capitol Hill? There are senators and also House representatives, or in short, representatives. There are about 100 senators coming from 50 states, 2 senators from each state, and different number of representatives from the 50 states, because the number of people in every state is different. So the number of representatives from each state is also different. What does Congress do? We say Congress makes law. Okay? For example, if Missouri has 2 senators, just like other states. They are Roy Blunt and Josh Hawley. Remember at least one name. And there are 8 representatives for Missouri. For example, Lacey Clay is a representative for the St. Louis area or district, and Ann Wagner for Baldwin or like around West County, and so on. There are 8 of them. So how do we know which one is your representatives? You go online on Google and write this down, and when you open the website, it asks for your zip code or maybe your whole address. Write that and you will see your representative. So, and we also talked about the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. Okay, enough of week 10. In week 11, we talk about the second branch, which is called the executive branch. Number 2 is executive branch. The president is in charge of the executive branch. And who is the president? It is Donald Trump, or Donald J. Trump, or you can just say Trump. So any of the 3 names could be an answer. So he is in charge of the executive branch. And Donald Trump and other American presidents, they live in White House. This house is built for presidents to live and work in it. And White House is in Washington, D.C. How do we get president? Last week we say, how do we get congressmen and women? It's through congressional election. And we get president through presidential election. People vote for president, mostly from Democrat and Republican. So this coming November, actually, there is a general election between Donald Trump and maybe Joe Biden, right? So these 2 will be the nominee for presidential election. And we elect president for how many years? 4 years. And when do we do election in America, by the way? We always do election in the month of November. The month of November. And it happens on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in the month of November. Okay? After the president gets elected, or before that, he elects people who helps him run the country. These are called cabinets. These are the current President Donald Trump's cabinet. There are 15 of them, but with the vice president there are 16. So what do these cabinet members or cabinet level position people do? What's their job? They advise the president. That's their job, to advise and consult with the president. And if the president can no longer serve, if the president dies or is very sick, unable to work, then the vice president, Mike Pence, becomes president. For example, in 1960s, John F. Kennedy was killed, and then his vice president, Johnson, took oath and he became president because John F. Kennedy was killed. Here is Johnson taking oath to become president after Kennedy was killed. So if Trump can no longer serve, Mike Pence becomes president. What if Mike Pence cannot serve? What happens? Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, becomes president. That is how the hierarchy works. And the President of the United States is the commander-in-chief of the military, which means he is the one who gives order for small missions, not to go to war with another country. That is Congress's job. The president just give order to the military. Another cabinet level position, you might have to know two at least. Secretary of State, which is very, very important position, because if Trump can no longer serve, Pence can no longer serve, Pelosi can no longer serve, the Secretary of the State is the one that can be the President of the United States. So that's one cabinet level position. So if no Pence, if no Pelosi, then the Secretary of State. Another cabinet level position is Secretary of Labor. What does Secretary of Labor do? They advise the president about people who work in America. Speaking of labor, there is a holiday that we celebrate, which is called Labor Day. And when do we celebrate this holiday? We celebrate it in September. Remember this one too. Okay, so let's do some summary questions to remember this point, okay? Okay, number one. Who is in charge of the executive branch? Who is in charge? Did you say the president? That's very good. That's a correct answer. The president is in charge of the executive branch. Number two, where is the White House? Where is it located, or where is it found? In which city? It is in Washington, D.C. White House is in Washington, D.C. Good. And White House is the home and workplace of the president. Number three, we elect the president for how many years? We elect presidents for how many years? 6? 2? No. We elect them for 4 years. If you say 4, that's the right answer. Good job. Let's go to number 4. What is the name of the vice president? What is the name of the vice president? Mike Pence. Good. Number 5. If the president and the vice president can no longer serve, who becomes president? Sorry for the redundancy. I wrote vice president 2 times. Ignore that. Who becomes president if the president and vice president can no longer serve? The Speaker of the House. Good job. Okay. Number 6. When is Labor Day? When do we celebrate Labor Day? Which month? Is it November? No, November is election. Or Thanksgiving also. It is in September. Good job. Well done. Okie dokie. So, thank you so much. Stay safe. Wear mask. Stay 6 feet away. Be careful. And if you have any question, you know what to do. Call me, text me, email me. Okay? I miss you all. Bye bye for now. Talk to you next week. Bye.